Hello, hello. Good morning. Today I'm coming to you with the Cheers to Season bonus class for October. Wow, October. Anyway, um, when I first got this set, I was very intrigued with it, and because I thought these little images we have here would just be awesome to stamp with. Once I started playing with it, I did struggle a little bit on what color to use, because you're definitely, at least how I did it, are using, one solid color for each one. Except the leaf, I came up with something different. So today I used the leaf for two of them because I came up with two different designs that I really liked for this one. And then I used these two. I never did use this. I think this will come in handy for some other stamping down the road, but I didn't use it today. I did use this on the background. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. And I think I have everything set up here. Now, I had issues last month with my video and all kinds of things. I think I have figured out how I can turn the video the right direction before I send it to YouTube. And I think I can do it from my phone because I did a little practice run with that. So I'm going to hope for the best. I am going to still try and use the program that I'm trying to figure out just to see if it works, but we'll see what all works. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and get started here. So the first card, I am using Balmy Blue, right? Did I use Balmy Blue? Yeah, sorry, Boho Blue. Back up the gravy train there. Boho Blue. I remembered stamping it in Balmy Blue first, and I kind of liked the Boho Blue better. If you could see the blotter paper... Oh, right here underneath. Here's all the different colors that I was stamping. Isn't that very colorful? See, I got you guys a new sheet here. So I'm using Boho Blue, and this is just so simple. I embossed the back with that Snowflake 3D embossing folder, and I don't know if that's the exact name for it, but you all know which one I'm talking about, the Snowflake one. And I stamped it literally with Boho Blue, die cut some circles. I colored in a Wink of Stella. I colored every one of them this time in Wink of Stella. I felt it added a little pizzazz to it all. And then just added some of the iridescent pearls. And look, you could make a lot of these very quickly. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. So we are going to bring in this little guy, 'Tis the Season. And the stamp itself is very light with the phrase, how the phrase stamps. So keep that in mind. Or the words, I guess I should say the words, the way they're engraved there. At least that's how I look at it. But it's just different because you've got words engraved inside the shape of the Christmas bells. I was trying to think of what they were called. Okay, so we're going to ink this up. Now, this doesn't stamp perfect. It's probably one of those, whatever the term is they're using for some of them, where they don't ink up solid. Can't think of what that term is. It's escaping me right now. Because as you can see here, like it's lighter here, darker here, lighter over here. That's how it inks up. So it's not... And if you want to check it, you certainly could just check it on your blotter paper and see that actually stamped really nice there. So we're going to go ahead and just... Now, I've already cut your circle, and yes, it's going to hang off just a little bit, but not much. And I'm going to come up just a little bit higher because I know I'm going to put a bow or a piece of ribbon, however you want to do it, right there. Beautiful. It does, they stamp really nice. I have to say they really do stamp nice. Okay, so your piece of basic white will already be pre-embossed for you, just in case you don't have that embossing folder. And sorry, I forgot to pre-score everything here. So let's score that up, and let's fold this in half. Now, when it comes to the insides, I did not do any decorating on the insides. I tried to stamp, well, it was the leaf I tried to stamp, like a corner of the leaf or something, but you get the words partial on there, and I didn't really like that. So I didn't do a whole lot. I didn't do anything on the insides of them. But that doesn't mean, you know, you could find something or do something different if you wanted to. Now we're just going to add our adhesive to the circle and layer that up here, just like that, okay? And then this is going to go on the card front. Let's move that out of the way. I'll actually have to close that up. I did some rearranging this last weekend when I cleaned out my craft room and moved some things around on my desk so I would have a little bit more room where I do my videos. Okay, sometimes when you add Wink of Stella, if this hasn't dried really well, with some of the colors it bleeds a little. Now I didn't notice it so much with this color, but on one that I did, and actually I'm going to be using that one for the buffet class, because I did this particular layout in several different colors, trying to decide what color I liked. So for this bonus class, I decided to do the boho blue. But I did do a couple others in Granny Apple Green, and then I did do one in Real Red too. The Real Red bleeds a little bit. I've noticed the Night of Navy sometimes bleeds a little bit. Like this color isn't bleeding. You can color the whole thing with your Wink of Stella, or you can just do the Christmas bells. You know, that's up to you. I'm just going to do the bells this time. I think when I did my original, I colored the whole thing the way it looks. I know it's hard to see Wink of Stella. Okay. Easy peasy. Now we're just going to add some dimensionals. And I'm using the big ones for this because it is a big circle here. So I feel like you kind of need to add, it would take so many more of the little ones here. Okay. And literally we're just popping this baby on top wherever you want to put it. Now you could put it down lower, up higher, and add ribbon before you add this if you want, but I just was honestly keeping it very, very simple. And I'm just going to grab a piece. Now I tied a small bow. You could also do the little, I think with this one we'll do it this way, the little half knot, because that's always really cute to add here too. Now this ribbon does fray really easy, so you do have to be careful with your edges. I noticed that on one of mine that it frayed right away, and I always just add these little bows or half knots, whatever you want. I just put a couple glue dots. I'm going to put it right up there, just like that. Isn't that just so cute and simple? Oh my gosh, this is just so simple. I mean, it really is. And then, of course, you can add as many little blingity-blingities as you would like. There. I think I'm just going to put 3 this time. And like I said, I didn't do anything for the inside. You don't always have to decorate the inside, but if you wanted, you could find some kind of little foliage or something out of another set and decorate the inside, and then, of course, your envelope. And there we go. There's our first card. I love it. Actually, once I really started playing with it, like I said, sometimes it takes the time to start using a stamp set and just stamping with it. That's why I just grabbed some colors. I'm just scoring this right now. I just grabbed some colors and started stamping just to see how it would stamp. And sometimes that's what you have to do at the beginning. Okay. Now this one, again, very simple. And we're using Moody Mauve. Here's our Moody Mauve. Let me put the lid or close this puppy up. Okay. Again, simple, simple, simple. And first I did like the little bubbly dots. That's what I looked at these as. Like they were little bubbly dots. You know, champagne. And I just stamped a couple. I didn't go overboard, didn't stamp it all over, just did a couple in the top corner and the bottom corner. You could do as many as you want. You can leave it off. You can stamp in second and third and however many generations of stamping you would like. It doesn't matter. Then this is our inside, which on this particular one, you actually could put a few of the little dots down here if you wanted to. This will be our inside piece. Okay. These 3 pieces are cut with the stitched rectangles. And we're going to take the top one. Move this up here. And we are going to stamp cheers. Now, I had a hard time figuring out what color to stamp this. The red didn't look good with this. At least I didn't think it did. Anyway, I came up with Moody Mauve. And it just barely fits on here. And yes, you have some imperfection there. That's how the stamp stamps. I think that's supposed to kind of look like you're looking through the glass. Maybe it's not all the way full. You know, that kind of effect. Now, what I did is I took a blending brush. I thought I had one out. That's got yellow on it. Okay. And you could take a dauber. You can take whatever you want. Of the larger deckled rectangles, I went around the edge. Now you could do this, and as you see, I must have ink somewhere, but we're going to cover it up, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Because then this is going to go on here, and then I popped this up with dimensionals, okay? Again, very, very simple. Now, you could do the Moody Mauve with your blending brush or sponge daub or whatever and go around the edges of this one too, but I just wanted it around that one. You can do it however you want. Again, there's never any right or wrong way. It's all about perception as to how you want to decorate your card. Okay, then we're just going to take adhesive. This is going to go on here. Let's pull this over here. This is going to go on the card front. I suppose my adhesive is probably going to run out now. Kind of felt like it. And then again, I'm using dimensionals to pop this up. We love our dimensionals. And I cut pieces off of these. You never waste any of these little bits and pieces. They all work. Okay. I probably put more than you need, but I always say you don't want to have a saggy card front. And you just pop that up right here. And then again, I did the little half bow right here. You could tie a full bow. You know, you can do it however you want. And I make it little. Be careful about the edge. See how this one's starting to fray already? It does fray really easy. Okay, then again, our little glue dots. And I always put 2 on myself. You don't have to. And I put it up here in this corner. And on this particular one, I didn't add any bling. You could. I just chose not to. I think this is done. It is. Okay, that one is done. I feel like a bump in here. I have several stacks of paper here, by the way. I just keep recycling them until until there's just way too much ink on them, and then I toss them. Or I leave them for Annabelle and Zachary to do whatever they want. Okay. Oh, Wink of Stella. So I painted this whole thing here with the Wink of Stella. And you got a big area here in the center, so it doesn't take long to do it. Now I haven't squished any more out. That's what's on this block right here, because this was a new one I started. So I squished it out on something that I could pick it up and use it if I wanted to. Okay, there we go. Okay, here's this version. Because you don't want it way up here, but then you can see how it... Okay, so there's that one. Project 2. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Project number 3. I had so much fun making. Okay, let me score this first. Okay, we have crushed curry here. And then we have some layers. And we're going to do some stamping with the leaf, and we're going to stamp, and then we're going to do some sponge daubing. And then this ribbon here, we're also going to color with the crushed curry. Now, I used crushed curry. Let's move this out of the way and this out of the way. I haven't cleaned them yet. I used crushed curry, a little bit of pecan pie, and then Poppy Parade. I like Poppy Parade. It always looks really pinkish reddish, but it's really got an orange tint to it. And I have some sponge daubers already out here, already ready to go. Trying to remember how I did it now. Okay, so I embossed with the Fall Leaves 3D embossing folder. I don't know if that's the exact name for it, but it is something leaves. And I kind of did the same thing as I'm going to do with the leaf we're going to stamp. And I used a blending brush to add some color to the background. So let's open these up here. And we're going to do two things at once. So first I'm going to take this and I'm just going to lightly add some color to the embossed side. So you want the raised side, not the debossed side. Okay, there's that color. Let's put this over here really quick. And then let's open up our pecan pie and our Poppy Parade. And we have some daubers here for those. Now I'm going to take the leaf and I'm going to stamp it. We're doing a couple things at once here. I'm going to stamp it in the crushed curry. Okay. Now I'm going to take the pecan pie dauber, and I'm kind of daubing around the So Thankful area where the words are. And then I'm just hitting a couple other little spots randomly. And we don't know what this is going to look like. It's going to look different every time you do it. Then I'm taking Poppy Parade and adding just a little bit of it all around. Okay. Now we're going to huff the stamp so you moisten it back up. And then we're going to stamp it. Okay. And I'm hoping for the best. I really don't know what it's going to look like. Totally different than the last one, but isn't that so pretty? I just love it. Now to pop it, this is why I layered with the black. I wanted it to pop. but I didn't like just the yellow here. So then I went and took my daubers or a blending brush, and I kind of just went over some of these areas just to start adding a little bit more color. Now you do want to be careful. You don't want to add too much, and you could use a blending brush too. You don't have to use the daubers. And you can add as little or as little or as much as you would like. I was trying to think of my words there. And if you wanted to add a little bit more of the yellow, you could go back and add a little bit more of that too. Remember, sky's the limit. Okay, so this is what we have here. This is going to go like this. Now, before I start assembling, what I'm going to do here, and you could color this with your Stampin' Blends, you can color it with whatever you want, but I had my ink pad out, so I just took, and I think this is the yellow one, yep. I just took another dauber and did this and pulled it through my ink pad. And I know I want to use about this much right here. So we're just going to cut it off. And then I'm going to pull the rest of the way. And then I'm just flipping it over and making sure it gets on the back side. And we're going to set this aside so it just dries for a few minutes. I'm going to close this up. Well, actually, before I close it, I'm going to take... Oh, did I not grab a white piece? Oh, well. I was going to take my white for the inside, but I guess I forgot to grab one for these cards. And just add a little bit of crushed curry on the inside of it, just as some decoration. No biggie. Guess I didn't grab it. Okay, so now, oh, I see what else I did do. I did take my blending brush or the dauber, you know, either one. Dauber, you can be a little more accurate with it. Okay, so now let's close these so we don't get our fingers and drop anything in it. This is going to layer on here like this. And then we're going to take this and this piece that's already pre-embossed is 3 3/4 by 5 because it's layering on a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. Now we're going to take our ribbon. Now you kind of have a white spot or a blank spot from no embossing there. That's where I'm going to put this part. You can do it however you want. Put it on straight. That's always a good thing. Okay, there's that. And now we're going to attach this. To the front, just like that. And then I'm going to grab my large dimensionals because we're doing another circle, so we're in a bigger area here. Put one in the middle. Whoops. Okay. There's that. Just going to put this underneath here. That would have not been my ribbon scissors. That's why it didn't cut it. And this frays very easily too. Okay. And there's this one. Now, I didn't put bling on this one either. I kind of thought it worked, but you could. You could put any bling you wanted. Okay. Number 3. Now, number 4 is going to be a little different. I actually did an easel card. I haven't done one like this for a long time. And, okay, I had this lined up. So I'm going to slide it off so maybe I can line it back up. And if not, we'll line it up. Okay, so what I have here, now you can make these out of whatever size circle you want. It's 8 1/4 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 4 1/8 because that gives you your center point. Because then what you do is you take whatever size circle you want for this particular one, and you would line it up, and you just want it a little bit of a gap up here to give yourself this flat edge. Oh, I guess I could have showed you the card first to give it this flat edge, okay? So you're going to line it up just like that, run it up and back, and then you get this circle right here, okay? Here's our easel card. Sorry. Could have shown you. And it sits like that. And I put so thankful, and then I put for you. This one is like the simplest easel card you could ever make. Okay, so once you have this, here's your card. Then what you do is you have to remember how to do it. You take this and you fold it in half. And we're using thick basic white, so you might want to break up your fibers just a little bit here so it folds really easy. And you're going to fold it down in half. Now, because of the deckled edge here, you're not going to get that to line up like you would if it was a scalloped edge or something like that. Those you would be able to probably line up, okay? So then you have this. Okay, so this is this. Now, you die cut another circle of whatever pattern or whatever you want to use that is out of the same size, and we're going to attach it to the bottom here, okay? Now, because this is deckled here, you can move this around to line it up, and I had it lined up, but see, I've moved it now. So I'll take a few minutes here to see if we can just get it lined back up. Because I did do it. I did it on the first one, and I did have this one just lined up. And I just pick a spot and start trying to find the matching little knobs. Now, do you have to do this? Of course not. It's just how I do it. And there's sometimes where it looks like it might be, but it's not quite. So you just keep moving. And if I go around the whole circle, and how will I know when I've gone around the whole circle? When I just decide I'm done trying to find it. Like, see, this is very close. I could make that work. Is it lined up? Not perfect. So let's just move a little bit more. I know you guys are all thinking, really, Debbie? Does it matter? No. And like I said, if I, like, see, this is really close too, but that's not it. Okay. Okay, if I don't get it here pretty soon, then I'm just going to make it work. Like I said, you don't. And if you were using a smooth circle versus deckled or any of the others, it wouldn't matter. Unfortunately, our, like, just the stitched circles we have aren't really big enough. It would have been a pretty small card. So anyway, I'm not going to keep making you watch me turn this around and around and around. So what we're going to do, even though it will bother me a little bit, we're not going to worry about it. What you do is you put glue on the bottom half only. And I use glue here because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room to make sure you're lining it up exactly where you want. And then you just lay this down however you want it to lay down. I'm going to try and just get it the best shape where I want it. And call it good. Okay. Now, see, here's our easel part. Now, I used wild wheat, and the backside of the DSP is the flowers back there. I don't care. That's fine. I